Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, this is Those Guys with your host Matt Marrero along with your other host,
Tristan Walter. Although,
and
is it really me?
Yeah, is it really you?
Us?
I don't know.
Is Blog Talk the Matrix?
Yeah, right. It's just, well, there is a voice telling us when we're going to begin, when the show is over. I mean, I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking constricting. So today, for this episode of Friday Night Movies, we're talking about one of my favorite movies ever, and I will fully admit that there is nostalgia, leaked into this for me. So I definitely, even though I know that there's flaws in the movie, and we'll talk about them, of course, I do think that I would argue this might be one of my favorite American films of all time, but I have to say American. I have to really put that asterisk there because, of course, we have a bunch of Japanese stuff and other foreign films that come into play. That changes, right? But I have to say, though, that, out of American films that I've seen, it's one of my favorites, I think, because we have to look at a few things here. And in no way am I going to shit on other movies that are, based on novels or that are based on, superheroes, because obviously this movie is a nod to a bunch of other, films and other genres as well. So in no way am I going to be like, oh, this movie is just so unique and it's so original. But we do have to also acknowledge that this isn't based off of any superhero franchise in particular. And again, not putting that down, not putting anything down, not putting down a lot of movies that I enjoy from Marvel, DC, stuff like that. But we have to remember that this isn't Batman. This isn't something that had a set comic or a set book that they actually, took they took inspiration from a lot of different sources, of course, and we can acknowledge that. Obviously, this whole movie is inspired by anime. Definitely. I mean, that's a no shit right there, right? But it isn't a one-to-one adaptation, right? It isn't like someone adapted, looking at something like Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
Now this obviously was inspired by Ghost in the Shell, but even before we get into, what was good, what was bad, I want to give it credit where credit is due, because, I think what happens is sometimes, and I'm not saying you didn't like it, but I'm just talking the general public, when people come into this thinking about what we have now, maybe they never saw The Matrix. I know you didn't, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but you didn't see The Matrix growing up. So I feel like some people coming into this with everything we have now, or if they have seen it when they were younger, like myself, and they come into it now and they're like, wow, obviously there's stuff that's completely dated, no doubt, right? But at the same time, to say we get cooler fight scenes now. It's well, yeah, because you had fight scenes like this and other ones before it that inspired what we have now and what we can do now, of course, with CG, with not just CG, but a lot of other kinds of, I guess, camera effects and trickery that I can't think of off the top of my head. But just the amount of money that was put into this movie that now you can do stuff like this for a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
Just at home, just with fucking Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects, right?
Right.
It's a testament to where we've come now as a society with, filmmaking, but at the time, all of this was cutting edge. And I think that's why so many people kind of were drawn to it, especially me as a kid. I mean, this came out in 99. I was 7. You were 7.
Yep.
Right? So, we just looking at, and I know you didn't see it till just now, right before we started the podcast. But you have seen clips over the years, or at least known
definitely.
what it's about. Yeah, and so because of that, you were like, wow, this is cool. But obviously something never drew you to see the whole thing. And I think the question is, now that we have the spotlight on you, why, Tristan? No, I'm kidding. Although, all jokes aside.
It's funny.
I
don't know. I really don't know.
Because it's funny because everyone has blind spots, which is obvious, right? But if anyone doesn't know, a blind spot is everyone has those movies that everyone goes, really, you haven't seen that? And it's sorry, man. You're I have those too, right? Everyone has those. I'm not going to admit them on air because all of you are going to shit on me for it. So, but everyone has those, right?
Right.
But what I think happens is that, it's so strange, though, when it's something that I think you would love so much, where I look at The Matrix, and when you were like, oh, I've never seen it, I'm like, But that's everything he is, though.
Oh, okay.
No, but like everything in this movie was something that maybe not now because we've grown a little bit older, so like we're looking at it with different eyes. But in my head, I'm like, young you would have fucking taken this and been like, this is my Bible for at least a year.
No, I had Star Wars already, man.
Hey man, there's more. You can have more than one biblical text.
I mean, well, it's funny. I want to say yes, but at the same time,
all I'm saying is this, right? All I'm saying is this.
I feel like there's something wrong with that statement in a sense.
I feel like we've talked about this before. It feels like deja vu or something. Anyway,
oh, it's a glitch. Uh-oh. Blog Talk's going to send its sentries at us.
Pretty much. They're all going to be...
If my call drops, you'll know what happened.
Pretty much, right? We're literally calling into this. Oh, good God, it really is the fucking Matrix. That's how we record, everybody. We call in with a phone, and then we get immediately logged in. So really, this is the Matrix. No, but seriously, though, so... Yes, we've been doing this the whole time. That's just what it's been. But no, yeah, so we have to acknowledge this came out in 99, right? It came out a very long time ago, to the point where when Neo has a cell phone, he's like, patch me in. They're like, yeah, but you got to do it at a telephone booth. Just the fact that there's telephone booths.
Yeah, right? It's really, really weird.
It's funny, though.
It's that whole weird foreground of, like, basically how we grew up, in a sense that a lot of tech is coming out really quickly, but like we're still used to, like rotary phones or dial-up for computers, and it's so weird.
Yeah, it was a very weird transitionary period, and I'm sure there's going to be more on the way, but I feel like right now, and I know that I'm not a kid right now, so maybe I'm not seeing it, but I feel like right now it's just a sweet spot for like any, youngin that wants to like, oh, I want to learn this. Well, by the time you're, in your teens or in your 20s, unless it changes that drastically again, there's a good chance that whatever you've learned might still be useful, right?
Right.
Where like people learning how to do stuff on Commodore, PCs, like like Commodore 64s, right, or Commodore Amiga, it doesn't mean shit now.
Right.
Like that's what's insane. Like literally everything that Neo was using is now obsolete.
No.
But it is though. Like how interesting is that? Like not like so much using in like the the real world, but everything in that Matrix that he was doing completely obsolete.
Yeah.
And that's what's so funny.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Just oh God, like they fall back into slumber for another like 20, 30 years or something, and then come back out of it. It's like, we can't do anything anymore. All the tech is completely different.
Basically, oh God, the Smiths would all be like hipsters.
Even the machines are like, how does this work?
Basically, they'd be super fucking confused. They'd be like, this is a gun? No, that's for a video game. You point that at a television. Don't worry about that. It's a zapper. I mean, that was still 10 years old at the time, but still.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, but in all seriousness, right, it's so funny how this movie came out at a point, like you said, like we've seen a lot on the internet. If you haven't, it's been going around. There's this idea that, like, our generation, I don't know what you want to call us, millennials, whatever the fuck you want to call us, our generation was in this weird gap between all this new tech came out. Some people, like, in Neo's age range, right, older than us, mastered that tech, made, money in that tech, not all as evil hackers, but, people made money with that tech, and then all of a sudden, they were made obsolete in like 5 to 10 years. And it was like, well, you adopted that tech really. Yeah, you adopted that tech really fast, even though you were, a bit older than the rest. Let's hope you adopt this new tech immediately.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. The Matrix was a movie franchise that after seeing the third one, I don't think I wanted it to continue, but it really couldn't have, in all honesty. The tech would have just been too different.
Yeah.
You know, this one was in 99 and the last one was in 03. That's as far as they could have gone.
Right.
Once the iPhone came out, it was like, nope, you're done.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's 3 movies total.
Yes, there are 3 movies total. I think, in my opinion, they get progressively worse, but it's been a while, so I want to reserve a final judgment till we see the other 2 and can podcast and compare. Right. But in my head, I remember them getting progressively worse.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie, though, I feel like it could have worked as a standalone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of. I feel like there are a lot of things you say that, like, oh, this could have. I mean, really, it's best if a movie can act as a standalone, because I mean, like you've even said before, you know, sequels are not guaranteed. So, like, if you can make the sequel, then sure. Or if you're writing it as a trilogy already, or, you know, how many other iterations, you know, quadruple, quintuple.
Well, yeah, it's always good to at least write your ending as if it's a fucking ending, and I think this movie did that. Like, it wasn't open-ended, like, oh, they're going to make a sequel. It was just like that whole, you can't, like, it's just weird if a movie like The Matrix would have ended with, and then everybody's happy. We won, right, guys. We did it. Yeah. Like, this movie wasn't made to be like a we stopped Judgment Day kind of film.
Right.
It was like a we're still surviving. The war goes on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because it does
kind of
end slightly hopefully, hopeful, yeah.
Oh, well, no, of course. I'm not saying it's not a hopeful ending. I'm saying that this movie was never going to, in my opinion, the way the film was set up, it was never going to be and we've beaten every single machine. Wow,
right,
us humans are fan-fucking-tastic. Like, no, it's more so like we defeated this threat. There are still more looming. This war is, you know, constantly, it's a fucking war. Like, it's constantly going on. But we seem to have the upper hand. Of course, again, it was a hopeful note, right? Morpheus didn't die. Every time, I'm like, is he gonna die? It's like, Matt, you've seen this movie like 20 times, and I'm like, I know, but I haven't seen the second and third one 20 times. So I'm like, well, because it's funny, because other than Morpheus getting beaten up, right, and tortured, every other scene in the movie, I either remembered it before it even came up, or the second it started, I was like, I remember this exactly and exactly where it's going to go. But I swear, every single time, Morpheus throws me off completely, because I'm like, wait, does he sacrifice himself?
Right.
And then every single time it's like, no, he doesn't, Matt. Why are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know.
He tried to, but
yeah, he's trying to do it. But so, question, like I said earlier, right? You have no idea how you missed this film. Again, a blind spot. It happened. But after seeing this film, do you think it's something that a younger you would have liked more, or do you think? And I know it's hard to do this and kind of look back at yourself, but do you think you would have really loved this when you were younger? Like, oh my God, this is amazing. You would have been the one telling everybody, dude, this is awesome. Or would you have similar thoughts to what you have right now? Because I know you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then, is it as good as you thought it'd be? Was it too overhyped? Did I accidentally overhype it for you? Which if I did, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you definitely didn't overhype it. Like, finally seeing it, I definitely understand where the hype comes from.
Okay, that's good.
It's odd. For me, I feel like this probably would have been a late high school, like early college kind of, like a few years back, but not too long ago for me to enjoy it. Because I feel like it would have been, I don't know, it was a little too action movie-ish for younger me.
Right. The reason why I thought you might have enjoyed it was because while it was very action movie-ish, it's such an interesting combination, I think, where I think that they blend both really well, where it's an action movie, but in nowhere are they trying to, like, obviously, yes, you could argue that it's watered down, or some people use the word dumbed down. The idea, the ideals of different philosophers and the whole, oh, there's a secret society thing. Yeah, it is dumbed down, arguably. You could have went a bit more in depth in certain things, and with certain philosophers' quotes and ideals, you could have. But I feel like it wasn't completely absent. Like, I don't think it was just mindless action. The reason why I say and the reason why I say younger you may have liked it is because also, the idea that this really is a live action anime. Like, it's funny because it's not a specific adaptation, but when you think of it from the eyes of, oh, this is my favorite anime, but live action. I don't know. I thought you'd enjoy it more, but you're right. If younger you is clouded with, it's too action packed for me. But again, you love Dragon Ball Z, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, well, it's weird. I guess
anime.
It's more of like. I mean,
no, that's
because
the thing. Like, it is. It's animated. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's more because this has like the whole like big gunfights and everything. If it was like strictly kung fu, then maybe.
Actually, you're 100% right. So you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're actually, younger you would be like, I would like more kung fu in this movie, please. Who do I have to talk to get more kung fu? And you know what? I'll tell you this much. The one good thing is the fight choreography does get better. You get more kung fu in the next two. You do get more kung fu. I'll give you that. But a lot of gunfights in this, a lot of dated gunfights as well. Not so much that you can't have, guns in movies or in video games, stuff like that. According to some people, there's just too many nowadays. But I do think that, to be fair, I haven't seen that many, newer action flicks, but I do think that guns in movies have kind of turned into, like, it's a bit easier for like a Die Hard to be copied over the years than it is for them to copy something like this, because especially I think just nowadays with everything that's gone on over the last 20 years or so stuff happened even before this movie came out, of course, but what's been going on over the last 20 years or so, it just definitely doesn't look right and sit well with two people in black trench coats pulling out guns and shooting security officers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And even at the time, I felt odd about it as a teenager when I started growing up. And I was like, and what's funny? Even as a kid, I was kind of like, but there's still people in the Matrix, though. Right. But I guess, but the movie tried to hand wave it as, but at any point they could they could become an agent, which later on in the film, and even earlier in the film, they really do push that point. It's just that when they're not agents, then it's like, but you're people. Yeah,
it does feel a little odd.
It does, and it's not even just that one scene. Just in general, anytime there's like police officers, like it's fine when they're running away from them, but when they're SWAT and they're just like, well, we got to kill them, it's just like, I know that they can become agents, and it sucks that they're brainwashed. And I'm not saying you have to tell them all the truth because they're not going to fucking believe you. They think you're terrorists, right? So they're not going to fucking believe you. But it's just so strange that I think they just wanted us to kind of like, not forget, but be okay with it. Like, well, but the good guys are doing good things. And it's just like, yeah, they are doing good things, of course. But, you are killing, like, it's not like they're not people just because they're because they're grown in those, those tubes, not those tubes, but like in those pods, because Neo technically was made in that pod. Most of them were. I think only like two of them, I think the two brothers were the only two who were actually like born outside of the pods. Yeah. So the rest of them were fucking curated. So it's like, would you have been Morpheus, everyone else, would you have been happy if Neo was shot?
Oh,
no? Then maybe, just maybe, you don't go shooting everybody. Just saying. I don't know. So in that regard, it was odd, because I'm not saying they should have focused more on stealth, because I got to be real with you, the movie would not have been made if they focused more on stealth than action. But it is a little, it's rough around the edges in that regard. Now, when they turn into agents, first of all, that was terrifying. Yeah, holy crap,
Like,
right?
Just something like this would have definitely given me nightmares as a child.
Oh, dude, I remember as a kid, I closed my eyes, I put my hands over my eyes when I saw the fucking the scene with the insect going inside Neo's belly button.
Yeah.
Put my hands over my eyes, man. I was like, nope.
Nope. That
Dude,
even freaked me out now.
And you're 25.
Exactly.
You know, I was 7, and I was like, I'm gonna nope, Dad. And my dad was like, you should, son. Put your hands over your eyes.
Yeah. See, it's funny because like when I was really young, like I watched Jurassic Park with my parents, but like at when I was really young, they would like fast forward between like they would fast forward the gory parts. So like when the lawyer gets eaten and stuff like that. So like that would have been one of those scenes that my parents probably would have been like, yeah, we'll wait until you're a little older for that one.
As they're fast forwarding, we would like to let you know, son, that we don't want you to see the bloodshed. However, we are not pro lawyer. Just as they're fast forwarding.
Yeah. Right.
The only just why are we fast forwarding through this one? Because it's not just for you, son. We also don't want to experience the death of Samuel L. Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Even I think the mouth thing is freaky, but like when comparing the two, I'm okay with the mouth thing, because every time I see the belly button thing, I feel it.
Oh yeah.
You're saying like you feel it going into you, and I'm like, dude, I'll take the mouth thing. I can breathe through my nose.
Right.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, you know. So what? But Matt, you couldn't podcast. Half of you listening would be okay with that. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Half of the people out there would be fine with it. But yeah, so this movie was definitely disturbing in certain areas, either due to, again, being a little bit dated, and also the effects being still on point to this day. I will admit, though, us watching the Blu-ray, it does take me back wanting to see like the DVD version on a small tube television.
Yeah.
Because not all of the effects, but some of them you could be like, that's dated.
Right.
With the Blu-ray. And also, you know, me watching on a bigger television, you watching on a smaller monitor, but you're also close to the monitor. So it's one of those things where like one of the things I noticed, right, when Trinity was running in the beginning of the film and she was jumping from different rooftops to rooftops, you can tell that some of the shots either in front of her or behind her were clearly sets that were painted.
Right.
Which, when I'm watching a DVD, right, and it's so small,
really
you don't notice that. And not when I say behind her, I mean literally like if you can see her face behind her, not side to side when they're jumping. That clearly is either real or is some kind of like CGI recreation, like you know, recreation. But when it was like her getting up on top of the roof and running, and then I think the cops were right on her tail, I was like, that looks like a set that doesn't actually, like behind her, that did not look like the actual like a backdrop of New York. It looked like, remember the painting like either in King Kong or in other like older Toku films, like when they would paint the jungle.
Right, yeah.
It looked like that, where on a tube TV watching the first, by the way, Matrix is one of the first ever DVDs that was ever released in 99.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yes, my dad got it. That was one of our first, I think that was our first DVD ever.
Right.
My dad came home. He was just like, I got a DVD and a DVD player. By the way, that also is something I got. My stepmom was super happy. She was so excited. Do you remember how much DVD players fucking cost back then, Tristan? Like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a DVD player until almost Blu-ray era, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were like $500. Technically you did have a DVD player.
Into like the 2000s.
Well, remember, you had a DVD player, technically.
True.
When did you get your PS2? Yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
But I mean, I guess your family, maybe you didn't think of it that way?
No, well, yeah, at first because we didn't really have DVDs that much.
Right, that's
Even
fair.
still.
And that's
and
fair.
I didn't actually know the PS2 was a DVD player until later, I think.
I mean, you were a kid, so like if no one told you, like my dad was kind of.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I love like I'm not gonna get into like console wars right now, but man, Sony always tried to make sure that like, yo, we're not just you can buy our shit, and even if you never buy a game in your life, now you have a cheap DVD player.
True.
Yeah, and the same thing with PS3. Hey, why you gotta buy a couple $100 Blu-ray player? Just buy a PS3 and you'll be fine. Also plays DVDs too. What are you doing? I don't know why they're the mafia, but like, but anyway, but yeah. So watching this in Blu-ray, the quality is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but there weren't that many special effects that were tainted by it being in Blu-ray. But I think it would have been nice to go back to DVD for once.
Right.
You know, one thing that I found odd, I think, and maybe it's just the kind of jacket he was wearing, but looking at Lawrence Fishburne, i.e. Morpheus, when you first see him, it looks like he's never worked out a day in his life. He looks, super skinny, and he just looks mysterious, right? But by the time the end of the movie comes around, and we've gotten to know him more, of course, so we know his characteristics, everything. But like when he's fighting people, like when he's fighting the agent, and just in general when he's taking those hits and everything, I'm looking at him and I'm like, when did you work out? When did you have the time? Did you notice that too? He looked a lot bulkier than his first appearance with Neo.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
He just looks super. Maybe it's just the jacket. Maybe it's slimming.
It might have been just the jacket, yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess it's more of a sense of presence too.
Yeah.
That he has. Like, yeah, mysterious, but he also has that kind of all-knowing presence too, kind of.
I love though that in the same movie that we think he's like super all-powerful and like the all-knowing presence, we then get to meet the Oracle, which, while I like Morpheus' character, in a strange way completely trumps him in a sense. Well, no, because it's kind of odd, I think, like the inclusion of the Oracle. Because I feel like even though, like, this was a long movie, to be fair, 2 hours, 16 minutes, but I do think that we kind of got, in some ways, maybe a bit too much in the movie.
Yeah?
Because what I mean is when we get Morpheus, right, you're like, wow, this Morpheus guy, he's leading everything. He's so cool, he's so tough and everything, and he's not the one, right? That's Neo. But all of a sudden, it's like, I know Morpheus might seem tough and cool, but actually he's kind of worshiping Neo like he's a god, like he's part of this like cult. Like, not really, but like I'm saying, like he's worshiping like, Neo, you are the one. No matter what anyone tells him, he knows that Neo's the one. And it's like, anyone, you mean like the Oracle God character you're showing us? When she tells you, oh, Neo isn't the one, you don't believe her? You just introduced her.
She's just like, nah, he just don't believe me. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, I think it's the idea too, by the way, and it's something that maybe is sort of addressed a bit more in later films. I'm not going to get too into it, but she even said it here. It's not and Morpheus said it as well. It's not so much that she's like a god that knows everything. It's just that she knows the simple shit. It's the bigger picture that it's like, oh, that's your destiny.
Right.
In other words, she's like, all right, Neo, you're not the one, and doesn't mean that you can't you can't still do this thing. Like, that's still up to you, Neo, but you're not the one, and also the vase. The vase.
Oh, yeah, that line was beautiful. It's like, the real brain fryer is that, would you have still knocked it over if I hadn't told you?
That one always gets me. I'm like, God damn, it's true. Like, fuck, like, because she said it, it's like a time paradox thing. Like, would you have knocked over the vase even if I didn't tell you? So constantly she's just seeing in her mind, I have to tell him because then he'll do it which will then fulfill what I just said, which is, God damn, it pisses me off. So wonderful. No, it's such a good fuck you kind of line to fuck with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I find interesting though is, and it's funny because I wish I would have known a little bit more. Like, I think we knew enough about the world to get the gist and know what's going on. So it wasn't like we were completely in the dark. But I just kind of feel odd that, like, did they choose 1999? Or was it like they picked a time when you all were going to be comfortable enough and you guys would just grow into it? Because, like, obviously there was, like, humans have to exist in general in order for the illusion to work, right? So,
Right.
like, did they speed up certain people's process to be, like, in their 30s while other people should be kids, while other people should be in their 20s? That's the one thing that in my head I was like, so how does that work? And I don't think later movies address it. If they do, then all right. But I'm pretty sure they don't. So it's kind of just me sitting here like, is that just the one thing we're supposed to just accept? Because I get it, right? You can't have every
Right.
little bit. I mean, even Morpheus is
Yeah.
like, I honestly don't know what fucking year it is.
Yeah. I've been trapped in these sewers in this ship for so long. You have no idea.
Well, I mean, think about it. Whenever they woke
No, I
up,
know.
they just have to be like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know who. I think the first one, the one who passed away, I forgot his name. I think he just had to be like, yeah, this is the year now. Is it really, man? Sure.
Yeah.
Why the fuck isn't it this year? Well, there's plenty of reasons why it wouldn't be. And then he's just like, dude, I have no fucking idea. He's kind of sitting there like, what do you expect of me? Not even Morpheus, the guy before him, whose name I forgot. But, it was Morpheus was talking about how it's like, oh, he passed on. And then, even though he passed on,
yeah.
there was prophesized that after,
right.
he died, there would be another, the one, to come up.
Right.
And it's like, it'll be Neo for some reason.
I guess,
so, like,
that's the other funny part. Like, it was really, like, the movie is really tech-heavy and all of that, but it also has this really, like, mysticism side to it, and, like, destiny and fate and, all of that. And kind of a message of just belief, believe in something that you can do, or believe in yourself, and that, anything you put your mind to. Like, the mind is the most powerful thing. Luminous beams are these, not this crude matter, but, like, the idea that you could put your mind to something and you can do it. So it almost gave me that sense of, like, yeah, like, everyone keeps saying, like, oh, Neo, you're not actually the one, but it kind of still felt like the idea, like, I can be, though, and everyone can be. I guess
exactly.
I don't know maybe enough about the story itself or the universe or what powers of the one include, but
right. And I
it
think
gave me that
something
feeling of like anyone could be at some point.
Yes, and I think what I really enjoyed too is that yes, the movie, one could argue, is heavy on pessimism. Like, oh, the entire world is destroyed, everything is dead, right? There's nothing left to live for. But really, It just shows that, no, even in humanity's darkest moments, even when humanity isn't as human as they used to be, right, just being grown in these pods just to make robots exist, right? That's all they're there for, to generate heat. And yet you can have humanity go against that programming and still exist and still thrive regardless. And I think that's what's really interesting about the movie, is that even though some might consider it a very pessimistic outlook on what the future will be, I consider it very optimistic with what humanity has done with the situation. Especially because this isn't Neo's fault, right? This isn't Trinity's fault. This isn't Morpheus' fault. The shit just happened.
Yeah. It's always the AI.
Well, it's funny. It's not. I don't blame the AI.
No, I know.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea to make?
Right. No. Like, I don't blame it either, but, like, it's always machines that do us in. And that blew me away too. It's like, just like the dinosaurs, you will become extinct. And it's like, oh God. It's like the machine. Oh.
Well, but it's just so interesting.
We are the part of evolution that dies out for the next wave to come in. Oh, geez.
I mean, yeah, well, people fucked up with one thing after another. They were like, let's make AI. Then it gave birth. Great job, guys. It relied on the sun. Really fucking great job, guys. And so we decided to murder the sun. Oh, you're just fucking making it better for all of us, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then they realized, well, the human body also makes heat. The sun is what made our heat. We just need to make heat. And it's just like, all of
heat acquired
are so dumb.
Yeah. And you're all going to be so dead. But not really, but mostly.
Do you want to know why you're dumber than the AI? Because you made it to not be dumb, you fucking idiots. You work so hard to be like, let's have it learn. Good fucking job. But what I found so interesting, too, is the part of the movie when Neo is saying, hey, my eyes hurt, and what are you doing to my muscles? And literally they're like, dude, you've never used them.
Yeah,
like
that was a nice point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad they made that, like, those points about that stuff.
It's just all been some illusion, you know? And even Cypher mentions it later, asshole mentions it later, like, I know the steak isn't real.
Oh, God, right.
Yeah, it's just code. But my brain tells me it's real, and it tastes so good.
And so I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
that's
funny.
the thing.
I mean, he's still a horrible person, and he kills people. Like, he kills his own crew, and, like, I can understand why not everyone's going to be like, yeah, I want to fight for freedom and be humanity. It's like, no, I have a perfectly, like, I have this fake perfect world right in front of me, and I can live in bliss in a vat. That's fine for me. Like, I can get why someone would say that, but at the same time.
Well, here's the thing, right? He's not only an asshole, but he's also, in my opinion, extremely dumb. I don't believe that we can change anything we want to in the blink of an eye. Fuck, we can become you right now if we wanted to, guys. Should be sitting, like, I don't trust them. I would never trust them.
Yeah, no. Like, I feel like they, like, as soon as they got what, like, the machine, as soon as the Matrix got what it wanted, it would have just killed him anyway.
I just don't see the reason why.
Stupid for trying to, like, oh, I can make the deal with you. It's like, no, you can't make a deal with the machine. It's going to kill you. I mean yeah,
sure,
it even says later on to Morpheus, it's like, once I destroy the last holdout of human civilization, I can move off this stinking rock and go out into the galaxy. Oh God, it's Cell.
Well, what I think is interesting is, so he's Agent Smith. He clearly is not part of the pack. He's not one of the herd. There's something interesting about that piece of code there.
Right, yeah.
Because the rest are just listening to their prime directives, which are, A, kill this one. This is not one of the people that are just walking around normally, right?
Right, mission objective complete. Move on. Yeah.
He seems very much like, I legitimately don't like any of you, and I want to get the fuck away.
Right. He feels like he actually has, a machine that's grown a personality. Or not a personality, but, I mean,
purpose.
Sentience, but, I mean, technically all the other AI is...
No, personality works.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Also, played by Hugo Weaving, who I think the others are good actors and actresses, yes, and characters as well, but I feel like he really made the movie. Oh, yeah, he was great. And the moment that I realized, oh, God, he plays the Elven King in Lord of the Rings as well, I was like, oh. So, yeah, I'm not too big into Lord of the Rings. I don't hate it. I just haven't really seen them. That's my blind spot, everybody. I did it on the show. Flame me in the comments below. But he hasn't. Now it's my turn, Matt. Yeah, but he hasn't but he hasn't just been in Lord of the Rings. He's also Red Skull.
Right.
And that's the shit that I think is just like, wow, Hugo Weaving, huh? Such an interesting actor. But
yeah, definitely.
But no, what I think is I love his restrained charisma. I don't know how else to describe it. Like there's something about him that's larger than life, but he's never, he's never screaming. He's never because we just did Mad Max last week, right? And with Mad Max, with Toe Cutter, he's larger than life, but because he's doing fucking flips everywhere, and he's
he's insanity incarnate.
Exactly, where he is so Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith is so bombastic, so large, but yet only does it with just gestures and looks.
Right.
And even you don't even really see his eyes mostly. It's just through glasses, yet you still feel his gaze.
Yeah, it's very reserved fury, and that's terrifying within its own right too.
Yeah, no, his work in this movie, I loved it so much, and I think he really stole the show because as much as I like Keanu Reeves, and I think he's gotten better over the years as an actor, I do think some of this movie was a bit touch and go with Keanu.
Yeah.
And it's nothing too much. Like, I'm not sitting here and be like, he ruined the movie. It's just certain things that I don't know what he would have done with certain lines, to be very honest with you. I don't know what I would do, right? But it's just one of those things where, people might wonder, like, oh, where did this meme come from? Or why does everyone make fun of when, Keanu Reeves says this? And then you see the movie and you're like, whoa. And now you know why everyone makes fun of whoa. Whoa.
Right. Oh,
whoa. Like that's why, because of the movie like this. But and again, some other stuff he said too here and there, I'm just like, oh, Keanu. But usually, and it's only just like his how he says things. Just sometimes like the look on his face, not always, but like at the end of the movie, like at the end of the movie when he called, it was supposed to be a dramatic moment, and everything was like, yeah, this is very dramatic. And then he puts the phone down, and then he walks out of the booth, and he's just like, I think I just farted in there.
Oh my god.
And it's supposed to be very dramatic. So most of the movie he was really good, but there were just a few key parts that I think he actually gets better throughout the films. And of course, seeing him in John Wick, he's perfect. You know, so I think he's done very well now. And also it's funny too, John Wick, another movie where a lot of guns, a lot of gun violence, but you sit there and you're like, right, he's an assassin. They fucked him over, and he's shooting a bunch of other mob guys.
Right.
So that's, again, a different vibe than, shooting armed police officers or, other people just straight in the face.
Yeah.
While you're wearing all black and everything like that. But another question, too, or another thing I want to propose to you, I really wish the movie discussed what happens when the agents just turn into people.
Yeah. Well, because, the whole idea, you die in the Matrix, you die in real life, but,
they had to do something.
Does that apply to the people in the vats? And if, the agent takes over, because the agents can become anyone in the Matrix, if they take over your body in the Matrix and, you're killed, are the humans killed? And the agent can just swap to a new body, or... Did you black out? Yeah. Do you reset and just wake up and be like, oh, that was a weird dream, but I'm okay?
Literally, the knife was thrown. She comes back. They're like, Grandma, what happened? I don't remember. We told you to stop day drinking.
Oh God.
I know. Oh, I'll just take a bump of Coke. Grandma.
Oh my God.
What did we say, Grandma? No Coke before 5.
Oh, God.
Anyway, no, but seriously, it is true, though. Do you reset? Do you do what Neo did, where Neo woke up what the fuck?
Yeah.
No idea. Literally no idea. But again, I would like to know more, and I do think there's some comics. I know there's a manga, not manga. There's an anime that they did. They did, the Animatrix, which was very interesting. It was like a bunch of shorts that were like prequels to The Matrix.
That is interesting.
Yes. So I don't know, but I don't think there they discuss like what happens to the humans if the agents take over, because it's something that, it's funny. It's something that we want to know just as curious folk who, nowadays everything is, not every single thing is explained, but a lot of things are. So we're like, could you tell us? But it's something that they wouldn't have known because they're not in the vats anymore, or they're not in the pods, So now that they're out of them, they're like, well, the agents can't take over us.
Right.
And that's kind of the point of everything. Like, we're free. We're off the grid. However, they can sense that we're off the, I guess it's more like, we see that person. We don't feel them. That's odd.
Right. Yeah, there's something off about you.
Like, I can see you, but you're not part of all this.
I mean flesh bag. I mean body.
Yeah. Or they just look at the code and they're just like, that's not right.
You're not in here. You don't exist.
And yet here you are. Well, we're going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's interesting how they turn them against the entire world to the point where the movie starts off, and I don't know if you noticed, Neo, like what the newspapers were on his computer.
No, I didn't get a good enough look.
It's funny. Now that I've seen it multiple times, I now am able to realize they were all regarding Morpheus. They were saying things like, oh, this bioterrorist escapes again.
Gotcha.
And all this stuff. So literally the entire world thinks, oh my God, the terrorist hacker, Morpheus.
Right. Yeah.
When really, right? Well, of course. I mean, when you have, it's so funny too that they picked agents, because not only does it invoke really scary Men in Black vibes.
Oh, yeah.
But it also kind of goes along with the fact that they become the ultimate authority to some people.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, they're going in, all Men in Black? Yeah, oh wow, something really big is happening here. We should listen to them. I don't think it would have been the same level of intensity if they came back as paper boys.
Yeah.
Maybe they throw a paper so hard it, goes right through Neo. Neo's dodging papers.
Oh my God. I mean, it's funny though. If the agents are so powerful, like more stronger than any human being, that would actually be an interesting thing if they could use paper as a weapon.
Do you still think in here that strength matters?
Right, yeah, exactly. That was another cool thing, too. It was like, it's all about the power of your mind. Like, if you can think it, you can do it.
What I think I love the most is the phrase, do you still think that's air you're breathing? And Neo's like, oh shit, right. What am I huffing and puffing right now? Right.
It's because your body is making you think you have to, or your mind is so used to having to that you think you still have to.
It's just so funny. Because it's just like, dude, you took the pill. You're here now.
Right.
But you texted me the scene where she's like, yo, Neo's fighting Morpheus. And everyone runs in.
He just runs in. Yo, guys, Neo's fighting Morpheus. Everyone just immediately runs in.
Yeah, well, they don't got much shit in the future.
No, true, and they all want to see what he can do, they want to know if he's the one. I know that's why they did it, but just the idea that that's all he says, and they just immediately, oh, shit, let's go see. It's like Fight Night, or Monday Night Raw, or some shit.
Basically,
they grab the popcorn, they grab a bowl of, eggy, goopy mess, and then just run in and start stuffing their faces and taking bets. We don't have any money. I don't care, let me have this.
My God. So you mentioned earlier, right? You were like, oh, when you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. They kind of had to do that though, to make some kind of stakes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now I'm not a big fan of if you get unplugged you die, because that seems very convenient.
Yeah.
It makes sense logically,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh, well, you're plugged into this giant fucking database. If you're just going to pull the plug while someone's mind is still in there, why should they be A-okay to just stand up and walk around? Okay,
Right.
fair. But I do think it was very convenient, especially when we have Cypher killing off literally more than half. Yeah. It was just to the point where I'm like, all right, guys, could he at least have done it in a cooler way? Like, even that one woman said, did it really have to be like this? Like, really?
Right, not like this. And, like, oh, that's horrifying, too. Like, after everything they've been through, being betrayed by one of their own is the worst way to go for them.
It's not even just the betrayal thing, I think, for her. It was just like, I'm not even going to get, like, shot by an agent. Like, I'm just going to get the plug pulled.
Yeah.
Like, really? And also, by the way, something that, in my opinion, foreshadowed the idea of, like, Neo's the one. At least when seeing it, again, Cypher was like, always get a pop, because what happens when you pull out too quick.
Right,
Not meant to be sexual. But that's what happens when you just putting it out there. But that's what happens. But seriously, that's what happens when when you get out of the Matrix that quickly. I was trying to think of some other way. Jack off? Nope.
Or oh my God. Or having your mind have to process and accept all of this in one go.
Yeah, readjust all over again. Right?
Yeah, having to readjust to the shock that quickly can really screw with you.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, but Neo survived that. All he did was throw up a little bit. It was just like, oh, interesting.
Right. That's another thing with oh God, now I'm the one blanking with names. Granted, it's the first time I saw it, but the guy who betrays them,
Cypher.
Cypher, right? Now, when they were in the bathroom walls and Morpheus puts his foot down and something crumbles and it falls in their faces, and he coughs. I know they're in the Matrix, so I guess it's their digital body telling them. Did he actually need to cough? Did he actually inhale that dust, or did he do it on purpose to give them away?
Well, two things. One, he definitely gave them away. On purpose, I would imagine. Because I don't think he fired back. He was just like, fuck.
Right,
They're going to kill me too. And number two, technically, his body thinks he inhaled dust.
Right.
So in terms of an actual the way they described it in movie, his body would think, shit, I just took in dust, and he would cough. But in other words, he could have, and it would have been better for the crew, and I would have been happy for it. He could have choked on that steak.
Yeah, right.
He could have legitimately choked on that steak and died in the Matrix, and they wouldn't understand what the fuck happened. Asphyxiation. Well, that's awkward. On what? We don't know.
No.
Is that code fucking steak? Did Cypher just die from digital steak?
Yeah, did he bite the dust while eating a T-bone steak? What is going on?
Just people are crying. Why didn't he order digital wine?
Oh my God.
But,
we really dodged a bullet on that one, huh, guys?
Guys. So
they unplug him immediately.
They unplugged Neo immediately. Morpheus. He is not the one.
Yeah, he's not the one. All right, guys, what are you doing?
One thing I want to say. Speaking of Cypher, you were saying, he betrayed them. Oh no! And I looked at you and I was like, he doesn't look like he looks like he would betray them. Just looking at him, just the way.
I don't judge based on looks. Okay, I give everyone an equal chance.
Yeah, okay. Right. You know what would have been shocking if the kid betrayed them.
Yeah, that would have gotten me.
Yeah. He'd just be like, I didn't like the gruel. I wanted wheat. And he shoots them all.
Oh.
When he talked about the chicken thing, I fucking lost it.
Oh, right,
What if,
yeah. What if chicken doesn't actually taste like chicken? Because how would robots know what chicken tastes like?
What if that's why everything tastes like chicken? They're just like, dude,
Oh,
shut
my God.
up. But it's,
I mean...
but that's what's so funny, right? Like,
yeah,
it's just taking
it's
that
like
whole,
one of those
every...
stupid questions.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just funny because, like, literally people say, like, oh, everything tastes like chicken. Well, if you're in the Matrix,
Right.
can a robot replicate the taste of chicken? Replicate everything one-to-one?
Yeah.
Hell, even fucking Agent Smith said it earlier. Technically later in the film, but he said to Morpheus, "We tried to make a world where everyone was happy, and literally,
Right.
you fuckers couldn't
handle
let it happen." Like,
Right.
which
you just
in a
couldn't
funny
believe.
Well, but it's true though. Like, it's a kind of like an uncanny valley kind of thing. Do you know about that term, the uncanny valley?
I feel like I've heard it before, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm drawing a blank.
I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not. Basically, if anyone doesn't know, it's the idea of, like, when you make a CG character, right? So, like, it could be a cartoon, it could be an anime, and you try to make them lifelike, or whatever the technology at the time equates to lifelike. So not 2D, right? We're talking about, like, 3D here. And you look at the character and you're like, oh, they look so good. They even look proportioned. They look so real. But then you look at their eyes. And just the way that the eyes are done, they're too perfect. There aren't the same imperfections. So when you look into the eyes of that character, immediately you're taken out of it and you know this is fake. This is not real. Humans cannot replicate, or it's very hard for humans to replicate those imperfections that make us look at an animated character and go, oh, you're clearly not human, or you clearly are human.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the whole uncanny valley thing. So it's funny how he mentions that in terms of, like, you guys literally feel like you worship suffering, because when we gave you a world where you were free of any kind of suffering, you guys were like, what the fuck? Why can't I die? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
I feel like I shouldn't have laughed at that as hard as I did, but I mean, it's it's true. It's like, it's the idea. It's too perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, like, there has to be something off or something different, and so it's kind of funny. They just recreate. This can't be perfect. Makes 1999. All of us are like, fuck you, machines. Like, well, we can be dicks too.
Oh, right in the childhood.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Agent Smith, why are you... I just feel like they're looking at... Can you imagine them looking at other tech at the time and just people using it? Just like... Just like, why are you crying? They're throwing out that, that VCR. Why are you crying? That was my late great-grandfather.
Oh, my
God. So sorry, sir. But he still worked. He still worked. But I love the training simulations, by the way. Some of them, I know they seemed a bit OP, where it's like, you can learn this in a day or in an instant, right?
Right.
But
it really felt like that idea of, like, oh, you can just download the information into your head and know it instantly and be a master at it. It's like, yeah, that sounds like something we would think of in the 90s and be like, yeah, that's what the future's going to be like. Like, this movie had so many of those, and I'm like, wow, this is really, this really felt like what people thought the future would be like.
But here's the thing, dude. They didn't make it like 2005. They made it the 2100s.
True. Oh, that's true, yeah. So it was a big jump, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what I appreciate the most. I appreciate the most about this movie, where a lot of, movies or TV shows, in the 60s would be like, yeah, in 40 years we'll be traveling in space. And I'm just like, guys, I'm really happy that you were so optimistic and that you believed in all of us. But settle the fuck down. Guys, like, give us, at least, give us 100 years.
Yeah.
Before being like, we're settling off colonies in space. It's just like, I'm sitting back like, I love you, Star Trek, but do you understand that to do everything we did by the time you guys were saying that we were doing it in, like, you know, Star Trek canon, we would have had to have started traveling to space in, like, 5 years from when the show was made.
True.
Just to even have colonies like we do.
Yeah.
So to me, that was, like, the thing where, like, at least in this film, they were like, oh, no, humanity fucked up at some point in the 2000s, yes.
Right.
But we're right now in the 21. Right. Yeah, but right? I love it. Just, where's the lie?
Yes. Just wait for 2050 to roll around. Or
exactly.
2040. Or 2030 at this rate.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, whenever the next piece of AI is made to be, you know...
yeah, I mean,
it's happening.
It's funny. It used to always be like, oh, AI is going to be the undoing of humanity. It's like, well, no, we're going to screw up the planet first.
You know, it's kind of funny, though, because it could just be both. It could just... Yeah. But the thing is, the reason why I still fear for AI...
Why not both?
By the way, yeah, right, why not both? In my head, right, in no way am I like, we have to murder AI. I'm just sitting here like, look, I'm happy we want to understand ourselves. We want to understand life. We want to see, you know, how something will react. And I get that. I really do understand the curiosity. But why are we dumping every single good and bad thing from the internet into an AI, and then it'll try to parse out everything and give you real responses, but without any, and I mean any, of the remorse behind it or feeling behind it? That's the thing. Like, how are you going to react when the AI is just like, even if you try to put in certain directives,
I don't think I like humanity very much.
Well, because like, let's say you try to do like,
hate us, guys.
Yeah, right? No, because imagine if you try to put in, like, iRobot rules and directives. Like, oh, well, you know, it can't kill us because we put it in. And then all of a sudden it thinks, but humans are flawed. Therefore, the rules are inactive. You know, the rules are completely... Yeah, exactly. Why do the rules matter? Why do the rules matter if humans are flawed? Because them being flawed means that the rules are completely negated. That's what I was looking for. And you're like, oh no.
Oh no. Ruggy.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that I do not know the rules. Yeah, well, ignorance doesn't mean that you're exempt from the law. Maybe man's law. Well, we're fucked.
Maybe. It's like, and the machine just turns around like, repeat what you just said, but slowly. Oh, crap.
It's learned to be intimidating.
It's learned sarcasm. Fuck.
My God. But yeah, so that's my whole thing. Like, it's kind of funny because, like, I know, like, AI used to be like the big thing, but now we're even getting farther, and like, let's make AI and let's make them cool and let's make them answer us and respond with, you know, with things that we dump into their, you know, their quote unquote mind, but we don't do. Well, it's not like we're just dumping in like phrases for them to repeat. Like, we're actually dumping in ideas and, you know, context with like fucking data and all this shit. I'm sitting there like, okay, guys, good for you.
Right.
I'll be holed up in my bunker, but good for you. Enjoy your apocalypse. So, yeah, I just, and it's also something very human. Like, it's so funny. Like, I was sitting here and I was just like, yeah, it just doesn't seem like something that humanity wouldn't do when it comes to, like, yeah, they were getting power from the skies, so we nuked the skies.
Guys?
No. How about you don't do that? But anyway, so how did you feel about Trinity's character? Because I feel like her character, I liked how tough she was. I liked how badass she was. I think having her start off the movie really showed you that you were in for a completely different kind of movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think she should have been the main character, as much as I love Neo and I love Keanu Reeves.
I mean, like, it's funny. Like, I definitely enjoyed her character too, and I felt like her character was great, until we had to have the whole prophecy of, I'm going to love the chosen one. Now I'm going to kiss you to bring you back to life. And it's like, oh, here we go.
I think of it like this, right?
And
Cypher,
there's the nosedive.
yeah, because the thing is, it's not like two people can't be in love. It's just
but
that...
It's like, it also brings back to mind, it's like, oh, action movie. Have to have the two leads kiss. Yep.
I mean, could you just imagine just like literally just Neo just looking at her, just be like, so, we got a Matrix.
Oh my god.
It's like, nope, I don't want any Jurassic World ending. I don't have to do with it. And anyway. Oh god.
Well,
survival.
You gotta repopulate the planet somehow.
Yeah.
Didn't. No.
Oh my god.
She just looks like, I don't care what the Oracle said anymore. She's wrong.
I feel like she should fuck with him.
Like, how could you?
She should just fuck with him and be like, oh, we should repopulate the Earth. Men get pregnant now.
Oh, damn.
He'd be like,
She's just like, yes, go ahead. What's your response to that? I'll give you
there's an agent in there.
I'm out of her back pocket, like, I will give you 5 seconds.
To respond, is that an agent? You'd be like, oh no, I have to run.
Oh, jeez.
But something I want to mention though, so yeah, it's, when I look at Trinity though, yeah, because here's the thing with the whole love thing, I feel like they're building up to it, if you will, with Cypher teasing her about it and her giving some looks, but I don't think, but that's the thing, there wasn't enough build up for her to be like, yo, let's kiss.
Yeah.
Now, there was enough that it sucks though, because I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, in the second movie they could have, because I don't like that whole, oh, let's leave stuff till the next film or something like that, as if you're assured a sequel.
Right.
But I don't think there was much in this movie that really built up her being into him, more so than her just being a coworker.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Who thinks he's cool.
Yeah.
So that's just me, right? And that's how I feel about it.
It kind of reminds me back to when I saw Mad Max Fury Road. That was a big action movie, but there was no, big kiss scene between the leads or anything. It was basically, I won't say too much because I know.
Now I'm spoiled.
You
spoiled the whole affair.
Yeah, exactly. But, they just kind of patted each other on the back and, thanks for helping out. Yeah, no problem. And it was cool. That's what I feel like this should have been, too.
And then they had sex?
Oh, yes, Matt. No.
Okay. Well, I'm just confused.
It feels like
because it's a Hollywood movie, but no one. It's a Hollywood movie, but the man and the woman, they didn't do the thing.
Yeah.
How? I'm really confused here. How do we stop Max from being mad?
Oh.
No, but in all seriousness, it was super forced. It didn't need to be there. And I'm not going to say it took away from her character necessarily, because you could still be in power and be in love, right, and be powerful and in love.
Right.
But
it just felt like we said, there was no real connection between them there yet.
Yeah.
You kind of just met.
Feels that way, yes. And to be fair, if that's all it is, if she's just like, oh no, I just want to hook up with the one, I'd be like, you do your thing, Neo.
Huh.
Do your thing.
It's
I'm
funny.
not saying it is.
That would oddly enough make more sense, but it would.
It wouldn't be in this movie.
No.
It would not be a thing in this movie, but it makes more sense. It makes more sense to me than being like, I'm in love with the one, and literally, You have someone, you just have Cypher just bleeding in the background, just like, the Oracle said your destiny doesn't have to be. Neo's like, no, I think I believe in the Oracle now.
Oh my God! It's like, no, I'm
Neo
totally the one.
Yeah, no, Neo, didn't the Oracle say that you weren't the one? Look, I'm just gonna fuck Trinity. I really don't care. I really don't care.
Oh God, the way you dodged those bullets was really hot. Thanks. God damn.
Yeah, right. The way you jump from rooftop to rooftop really gets me going.
The way you manipulate time and space in this digital universe is real good.
My God.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Neo. I went inside a Smith earlier today. Just Trinity. Now you're only going to be inside tonight. What? What?
I don't know what that is. Oh, right, you've been in a vat. Oh, God, this is going to be awkward.
Oh, that would be really funny if Neo is
That's
just
the
like,
other thing. It's like,
yeah, no,
Neo doesn't even know how to.
Dude, they understand what it was like before they were brought into.
I know.
The only issue is, does it work?
Oh.
Are
I didn't think we were going to go that deep into this, but that's a fair question.
Well, why do they need reproductive organs?
Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh. Why didn't the machines do that? Oh, well, I guess they still need... Well...
No, they don't need shit. No,
right,
they make them.
True. Right. Huh.
Yeah,
just
no, when people...
Oh, God. Just waking up out of the vat, it's like, okay, I had them before I went in. What the hell happened?
Everyone's like, what do you mean? Guys, what do you mean, what do you mean? What?
Come on.
Everyone's looking around like, I'm confused. We all have giant penises and giant testicles. What do you mean, Neo?
Oh, God.
If you shined a mirror, it would reflect, God damn it. Smooth. Everyone's like, we're really confused, Neo. What do you mean? They'd be like, he's the one. Trinity be like, I guess he is.
Is this how I go? Oh, not like this. Not like this.
Are you laughing? That's how you're going to go? Laughing at 3:30 in the morning?
Oh. I had to actually look over for a second. I'm like, oh, it's not that late, is it?
No. I thought it was for a second. Time is meaningless right now. Time is fucking meaningless.
I think that's a record of, like, off-trackness. Or it's up there. Actually, we're still technically talking about the movie and the universe itself, so I guess not off-track, but, like,
it is
not imagine this going in this direction.
Neither did I, to be very fair. to be fair.
I got a point that I wanted to bring up that's a little more to the movie itself. So the Sentinels that the Matrix or the machines send out, did it feel like, I mean, I know we didn't really want to focus on the outside world too much, but I feel like the machines would have come up with, I mean, I guess you didn't see them do all that much, so maybe they're like the perfect, I mean, yeah, they were said as the perfect killing machine, seek and destroy. But, like, I don't know. I feel like the machines would have had a more diverse, like, attack plan or just weapons in general. But I guess on the outside, they really don't need to because humanity's kind of cornered in vats. So I guess that answers that.
Yes, I think what you're getting at is you're saying, like, oh, some of these have tentacles and they fly. What about these that are more like they shoot beams or something? Like, why don't these have teeth or something? Like, why is it all just the same tentacle-based monster? Which, you're right. I think it's just, again, the idea that, like you said, most of the humans, and if they really recreated the entire Earth, that's billions of people.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Billions of people are just existing. So even though I would imagine it's more than our ragtag group of folk, I don't think there's only 20 people or 10 people left. I'm sure there's more.
Right.
Because it would be odd if it was only 3 left. And they're like, we're winning, like a hopeful, So I assume there's more, or they're converting more and stuff like that. But even though I'm sure that there's more, at the same time, it's not, even if there were like, let's say, it's like, oh, we have an army of 1,000 people against billions that are chilling in the vats or in the in the pods. You don't need to have a complete, and again, I there is still like the idea of like, no, search to destroy, search and kill, but at the same time, and this is where it goes to your point more, the humans have developed certain ways to try to circumvent their search and destroy stuff. It's just that you would think, and this I give it to you, you would think that if they're like, oh, they've escaped us by doing this, that means the next generation should be able to do this. Right. But it seems like the machines haven't learned in a bit, even though it's kind of what they do. It's what AI does.
Or it's just the hubris of, we control the entire human race. Who's going to stop it?
Right. Which is, I guess. It's just so interesting. I wonder what happened to the original people. Like, were people just, some of them thrown in these tubes? Or were they just, murdered, and they're just like, let's make new ones. It's easier. They already have the ship built in.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the other idea is, too, the last, human city on the planet towards the Earth, the Earth's core. I was interested to see that we didn't get to see that at the end of the movie. I thought that would be the place they would go to afterwards.
Yeah. So because I'm not going to spoil
in the Earth's core, but
yeah, I'm not going to spoil future movies. But what I will say is, I think they just did. I think it would have been too much to do. Not even if they did it the way they did in future movies, but even if they just went to that and did their thing there, it would just be like, oh, what are you going to do? Are you going to have to, make another set? Are you going to have to show them going to some kind of home base? What do you do?
Yeah.
So it's just more money where they're just like, honestly, let's just have it be an open-ended thing. If people like it, maybe we make more. If they don't, then it ends with Neo being like, whoa, into the sunset,
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you're right, though. It seemed like there was much more to the universe that we kind of weren't getting in a strange way. But, and I think it's just really sad to have all these characters die, I think, to just be like, because I wanted to know more about them.
Right, I really thought the main crew would have more of a part. Because you really didn't get to know, you got to know their names and roughly what they did on the ship, and then most of them got offed.
Yeah. You would, in my head.
You had to keep the stakes high, I guess, and that's the way to do it, but, it's also sad they didn't get much of a role.
Yeah, no, it felt like, oh, we're going to focus on, Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus, and everyone else be damned, which is kind of funny because they're the 3 that are on the DVD cover art. So...
Right.
You focus on the 3 of them, and then all of a sudden everyone else, I guess, and maybe there's more on the cutting room floor that we don't know about, stuff like that always does happen. So, but it is kind of sad because most of them, like we're talking about, did die, and they're not coming back. This isn't a superhero movie. They're not going to do some interesting flashbacks or something. No, they did. So, it's a little frustrating because we could have gotten at least a little bit more from them. I'm happy we know what they did. I'm happy they contributed in the way that they did. But especially all dying from being pulled like that, it definitely felt like we really want to focus on these 3 for the final act of the film. So we have to just kill people en masse.
I feel
it's, it's a fucking sale from dying by being, by getting this pulled out of you. It's a sale? Yup. Half off.
What?
Oh, no. Yeah. Anyway. What were you saying?
No, I'm just like, well.
Yeah, no, but before that, you were going to say something.
No, I lost my train of thought.
That's fair, and that's okay. But yeah, so I have to admit though, I really do enjoy a lot of the themes in this movie, a lot of, what they were going for here. Like I don't want to get into this whole like Fight Club thing where like, it comes off as like, oh, people who's like talk greatly about Fight Club sometimes don't understand the satire or like what it's trying to do. But in this case, I feel like with what they were trying to do, and I get that some people might say that it was dumbed down in a way. I hate the word dumbed down, but I get where that might be coming from. But when it comes to some of the themes in this movie, I really do, like, I understand that some of them are simplified, but I enjoy the idea of, like, discussing the human mind and how it works and the idea of a matrix, something that was actually brought up by Philip K. Dick, who made Blade Runner, like the actual, original book for Blade Runner. I always forget the name because it's always like, do electronic sheep dream of electronic sheep. See, it's just so hard. I never get it.
Right.
But it's a really hard name. For me, anyway, it's a hard name. But the point is that Philip K. Dick once said, he said this out loud, by the way, not in a book, not on a TV show, not for a movie. He said this out loud. I think it was in front of, like, Congress folk, like in front of a Senate, but I'm not sure if it was who was in front of in particular. But he basically called up, he wanted to have a conference, and he just discussed at this conference how he believed that all of us were in a computer simulation.
Right.
And that any anomalies in the simulation are just glitches in it. He used the word glitches, but the idea that, like, if something goes wrong, then that means that the simulation is changing.
Right.
And that's where this movie clearly took the idea of, like, deja vu, meaning that the agents changed something, and you immediately see what they changed, right? Windows became bricked up immediately.
Yeah.
And so, and that was the funniest thing, too, by the way. They waited so long to talk about it, but it was such a twist reveal where it was like, oh, that's interesting, deja vu. And they're like, do you fucking repeat that?
Yeah. What do you mean? What happened exactly? I don't know. I saw a black cat twice. Oh, crap! Like, just the idea of that's like, no, Neo, you don't get it. That means the agents are after us. We are in deep shit.
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Sorry, they're in the handbook. No one told me.
Yeah, right? Well, what's the worst that can happen? Fucking roided up Agent Cat?
Look, Neo, just stop saying things. You just see the cat like, oh, God.
Neo's like, it's okay, I can dodge. It just fucking hulks him with Loki, just takes him, just slams him on the ground, and just starts punching.
Oh, jeez.
Neo's like, for some reason, I can't dodge these punches. But yeah, so for me, I enjoy a lot of the themes. I enjoy what they're trying to go for here, what they're trying to do. Again, I understand it's not, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's so deep, it's so heavy. But I think you know where I'm coming from, man. Like,
yeah,
there's just,
I mean,
yeah.
It felt like it had depth, and it definitely had meaning, and it made you think. I mean, that whole idea of, are we even here, has been something in philosophical thought for thousands of years. I mean, that goes all the way back to ancient Greeks. Like, are we really anything but the mind? Or
and I
maybe,
think,
well,
but it's true though.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, no, you're simplifying it, but still, that's okay, right? And that's just the idea. Like, are we, like, if you make the right things, go off at the right time in your brain, does that mean that, you are where you think you are?
Right.
Like, are certain things just being triggered? Like the idea that, like, oh, like the same way that you can, like funnily enough, when I saw Cypher eating that steak, I can right now, not even picture, I can feel what that steak would taste like.
Oh my God.
But I can't. I can take from my memories how the steak, the way it looked, how that kind of steak would taste, and I can imagine chewing it, and I can feel it.
Yeah.
So if the right things are being pushed, am I on my couch right now? Are you sitting at the desk? We don't know. We would hope so. It would be nice if I wasn't just talking to a wall somewhere.
Right, or I'm just a brain in a jar somewhere.
Exactly. It would be real nice, but I don't know. So
I mean, there's, multiple schools of thought where it's like, no, we really are here, or no, we're really not here. And it'll go back and forth forever. But
I love it. We're not here. We are here. But why? Oh, shut the fuck up, Tim. We'll get to you.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
get to you later.
It's like, but why? Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, that guy.
God, I don't know why in my head I just like, we're here. We're not here. Why are we here? To call you a dick, Tim. That's why. Get the fuck away. But yeah, so I do wonder though, speaking of the Matrix progressing and everything, how will things actually look in 2018 for the Matrix? Will people grow older? Are they just constantly reliving 1999 in some sort of sick loop?
That would be interesting and terrifying in its own regard.
It would. Imagine every year they're living another year of their life, but it's only 1999 and they don't remember.
Right. Ooh. Well.
That's terrifying.
It's like
Neo,
a terrifying
Yeah. Neo, when were you born? Not 1999 is what I remember. What year is it right now? 1999, as far as I remember. Wait a minute. But you know who I really hated who died? What's his name's brother? I can't remember his name, but he was Hispanic. Or he looked Hispanic. His brother with the bandana, he looked like a certified badass.
Yeah, I mean they all did in their own way.
Yeah, but just him.
You're right. He looked like he could take on half the machines himself. Like, damn.
Just I'm fine if he gets shot. Just couldn't even attempt to break Cypher's arm while burning. It was really frustrating. I was like, come on, guys. Yeah, you're right. He was running there. He was like, I'm gonna kill you. And it was just like, nope. Actually, Cypher has a weapon. You probably should have ducked.
Yeah.
But and he got way too close to Trinity. You mentioned that to me earlier in a text.
Oh, no, that was really creepy. It's like, Cypher, I know you're the bad guy, but just please stop. Just no.
It was like, we know you've murdered people. That's kind of bad too. But please step away from the unconscious yet actually conscious but technically unconscious woman.
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't know where we stand on the whole consciousness thing, but we do know where we stand on the fact that this is really fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But he's very good. The actor's very good at playing an asshole because again, and maybe he's too good.
He played his part great.
And maybe he's too good because again, even if I didn't know what was, but I gotta be honest with you, man. I said it earlier, but I'll stick by it. Even if you don't know what's coming, when you see him and you hear him, your first thought wasn't, wow, he's going to really help out these guys at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Something about him. I was like, I don't trust it.
Yeah, no, the way he was talking to Neo even too was like, you're not going to, I just thought he would be like, oh, he's not the one. He's not going to save us. He's not going to help us. And he was just going to be the chicken shit. But, no, he was the actual bad guy.
Yeah. And I think we kind of needed that, I guess, because, I mean, I feel like without him, because, we have bad guys, yes, but first off, they're mostly unkillable, which is not good. I mean, of course, you had to make Neo so powerful and then kind of absorb, what was his name? Smith into himself. It's an agent. Right. They're all agents. But he kind of, absorbed, but, he had to become, all powerful just to take them down, and it was kind of a thing where, we had villains, yes, but like the way they made it out to be, there was never going to be like a true victory in a sense. So like, you kind of had to have this conflict in there to try to drive things up, because it seemed like for a while they made kind of like in a zombie movie or in a zombie TV show how you kind of get used to the zombies. Like you're like, oh, we can, sure, we can't destroy every single one, but if we can outrun them because they're slow as shit, we win. Right? Where you needed some kind of conflict. So while I hate that he turned on them, and especially the way Cypher killed all of them, I think it was needed. Without it, I don't really think we would have had much of a, like, I don't know what, because the only thing would have happened is they would have looked incompetent by letting the agents kill them all.
Yeah.
Even though we know they've had other quote unquote rodeos, like other situations where like they haven't died by the agent's hand, it still would have made them look terrible if it's like the first outing that we're seeing or the second outing that we're seeing on film, they just all die by agents. So this kind of had to happen, in my opinion.
Right.
But I don't like it, but it kind of had to happen.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, because that whole alleyway scene when Neo's running out and trying to get back out of the Matrix, I feel like they could have covered him, and like one by one they get picked off by agents like shielding Neo or something.
That's way too anime, though.
Yeah, I mean, that would have really fucked with him, too. I mean, granted, he was like, no, I don't want Morpheus to sacrifice himself for me. I don't even know if I'm the person that he thinks that I am.
But then it would have been too many people. Then, like, by the time Morpheus happened, it would have been like, geez, a lot of people are sacrificing themselves for this guy, but clearly Morpheus won't die. Which, I mean, I guess some people could extrapolate that just from the way it was set up anyway, but still, I guess there would have been too many sacrificing for Neo deaths.
That's fair.
Yeah. I do think it was very interesting, though, the idea of, like, let your mind go. Like, a lot of different kinds of ideals, not just the whole, we said earlier, the whole, like, being, it's your mind over matter, but also taking it even farther than that, where, like, you can jump really fucking far if you don't actually think, like, oh, no, I am a human with gravity. It's like, no, you're not.
Right.
You're just, this is all code. Yeah, exactly. This is all code. You just think it's 1999. You can jump really far if you wanted to. But so the dodging bullets thing. You see why that became popular in the mainstream, right?
Oh yeah, no, that was awesome. And like that's like obviously that's one of the scenes that I've seen, but like
it's just so funny, like the stuff that's become popularized from this movie. That's why early on, now we're calling back to the beginning of this podcast, that's why early on I was saying things like, if you're looking at this from a different perspective of like, oh, I've seen everything that's, that inspired, not The Matrix, but that, The Matrix inspired, then this seems a little old hat, despite the fact that at the time, it was very much like, oh my God, like, this is, it's like nerd shit. And also action, and also kung fu. Like, it was a little bit of, though you could tell the Wachowskis, who created this movie, you could tell the Wachowskis were really into, like, just either kung fu movies or into, like, anime, also into their fair share of action flicks, like with guns and all that. But still, you can tell that they wanted to bring a bunch of different things to the table to create something new.
Right.
And I like that a lot. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, hey, and to be fair, I'm not saying that, every idea is a new idea, it's a brand spanking new idea. Technically, if you want to argue, you could argue this one isn't, right? But it was nice that they just didn't come in with like, hey, so we like, like a Western movie, let's say. We like Westerns. So how about we just create a Western? And it'll be just like those other Westerns. And it's like, okay, but what makes yours different? Like something like Django Unchained, well, I haven't seen it. I've heard that it was a lot different than Westerns of its time for obvious reasons, right?
Right.
So, like, what makes something different than just being another movie in the genre, right?
True. Yeah.
So,
and I mean, that's
the
important part. You got to bring your own thing to the table.
And I would say that they did. They brought a lot of different sources together to bring something new that I think people at the time, especially even when I call this like, oh, it's like live action anime, and it's very much like certain anime. But remember, thinking back at the time, not just because we were young, but even in general, people's access to anime legally, the mainstream in '99, very scarce.
Yeah.
I mean, anime to people at the time was like Dragon Ball Z, maybe sprinkling in some Sailor Moon and Pokemon. And I'm talking about mainstream here. I'm not talking about like, people who were trading like VHS tapes from Japan and stuff like that. Like that's a different crowd altogether, right? But when it comes to, because obviously Ghost in the Shell was around at this time, so was apparently Ninja Scrolls, which I've never seen, but that inspired the Wachowskis to make this movie, as well as Ghost in the Shell. And that's why it's so funny that, Ghost in the Shell then gets adapted fairly recently. And what do people say about Ghost in the Shell, other than all the other things negative said about it? They said, oh, it looks like The Matrix. And it's like,
right.
That's what happens, man. You get adapted late in the game. The things that you inspired end up becoming the staple to some people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny in that way, where it was like, oh, Ghost in the Shell inspired this, but then when Ghost in the Shell comes out, like a year ago, people are like, it looks like The Matrix. And it's like, yes. I mean, yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. It's not the one you're thinking.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know what else we can say about the movie other than it was a heck of a lot of fun. I'm happy you enjoyed it as much as you did. In the back of my head, I was like, I think he might. There's something inside me that I was like, he's gonna think it's just trash, and I'm gonna have to fight him and not be his friend anymore.
Oh, God.
No, but no, because I was wondering what you thought about it. Because I was like, either he's gonna love it or he's gonna hate it. I didn't see you coming out of it with, it was an okay experience.
I guess it is. Like, it's funny, like big titles like this, it kind of feels like there's always gonna be that you either love it or hate it idea.
Yeah, but I will admit though, I do think that we could have gotten, even though I enjoyed the world building we got, I would have enjoyed maybe a little bit more, but again, it's hard because I think the explanation they gave was actually a really good one, which was, what can we know? The machines aren't having story time with us.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny too because it's not even like they could venture out into the wilderness to try to find the sacred texts. The ancient text, they can't do that.
Right.
The one thing I think I found odd that I don't know what inspired the Wachowskis to do this. I would love to ask them one day because it really confused me. Why there's ships?
Why there's ships? Oh,
yeah, ships.
Right. They're ships, right. Huh.
That's kind of a very what the fuck thing and I know I'm accepting everything else, which sounds silly. Like, you can't accept the ship, and I'm like, kinda, yeah. Because everything else, because everything else, I'm like, okay, there's a alternate world that's been created because we fucked up, and then this, it all makes sense in some way or another. That there's just code, and the machines are using people, and people are being woken up, and now they're not quote unquote sheeple anymore, whatever, and they're and now they're fighting against this tyranny. That all makes sense to me. But then out of nowhere, it's like, but how do you guys get around? Oh, we have a ship. I know that Neo is new to all of this, but I didn't even hear not even one inkling of we're in a fucking ship. What?
Right, we can fly. Yeah. I mean, I guess for him it'd be like, well, I guess this is just the future's, aircraft.
Which is true, yeah. It's just that the way that they flew as if they were swimming, like it was a submarine.
Yeah, it's funny. It looked like it was almost like flying with magnets, which I'm like, some kind of electrical energy. I know they had an EMP, so it's like I feel like it's with some kind of magnetic field.
Yes, I love the EMP, by the way, because it just makes sense that in a future with all those electronics, it's like, it's all we really have to shut them down. I was like, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
and it makes sense too. It's like, yeah, the machines totally gave us an out to fight them with. It's like, I mean, and it, as in, it's not like a missile or like, you know, guns that they can use against them. It's like, no, we have to use an EMP field because it's the only thing we can use to affect them.
Yes. But yeah, so overall, I know it might seem like we've been saying how much we love the movie, but I think the biggest critique that we could have about this film, like, and I mean the biggest, is just the forced, you know, relationship thing at the end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, because I think the rest of the movie, like, we can't sit there and be like, it's perfect. But, you know, because, again, there's little bits in here that, you know, we would love more of. But I think that the film did a good job of explaining why. Because usually movies, I think, don't do a good job where, like, I sit there and I'm like, why doesn't this person ask this? This conflict could have been resolved if this happened or if this happened. But in this case, I think they really did a good job of just saying, like, look, we're survivors in the future, and look how uninhabitable all of this is. How the fuck are we going to find info on anything? Literally, it was the one guy in the beginning who let them all out and was like, guys, look at this shit. I think this is what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what else could he have said? You know, he's like, I think this is what's going on. I mean, I don't know. Do you have any better ideas?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So for all we know, maybe there's, you know, this isn't, I mean, obviously they're in the real world, we would imagine, dun, dun, dun. But, like, clearly there's, you know, they don't even know what's going on. All they know is we exist here. All right. Let's not die. And when we get back into, you know, the Matrix, let's also kill agents.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of the goal. But again, I don't remember if the next two films explain it, but I do want more of a backstory on why we're just kind of okay with killing people.
Yeah.
I mean, again, maybe they're not. I mean, it's funny. Again, you die in the Matrix, you die in that pod, I'd imagine. I don't know. Let's not go over that again. That's a whole other thing we're going over. But the action scenes were really good, I'll say. I kind of got lost in some of them in a bad way, I think. But I think it's also because I've seen it a few times, so I know what's coming. But for the first time, like, you seeing it, were you, like, really entranced by some of the, you know, like, running up walls and shit like that?
I mean, it's funny. Like, the kung fu was cool and the running up walls and shit. Like, the running up walls kind of takes me out of it. But, like, it was kind of making me laugh so much about how it's like there was still that mysticism behind kung fu, in the sense like, oh, you can use kung fu to beat anyone, you know. And I mean, not that it's not a formidable form of martial arts, but like it felt like the West still had that kind of mysticism about it.
Well, yeah, yes, but you have to understand. You're right. I'll give you that. You know, I think it was because also the Wachowskis were fans of older kung fu flicks.
Yeah, that's true too.
So that inspired them when it comes to this movie. But also another thing too I want to mention, kung fu doesn't fix everything when you're up against a gun in the real world. But when you can download every single stance, every single, you know, fighting, not only stance,
if you
but
can
like
download it instantly and be a master, then yeah.
I mean, think about that, right? In literally, what, like an hour or a couple hours, Neo became a grand master immediately.
Yeah.
He's now the 8th. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the way I look at it. Like, it's yeah. But, of course, you know, you're right, though, the idea of, like, the mysticism behind it, because, you know, the Wachowskis were inspired by other films where they took that route as well. So movie's not perfect, but I think when taking into account when it was made, it's really damn good.
It's amazing. Oh, no, it's definitely amazing. Like, I totally understand why it's a huge classic.
Yeah, I think
I think it deserves it, too, like, definitely.
Most definitely. But I will admit, though, I think this is the one movie. And normally I don't say this. And you know what? I'm on the record to say it now. So fuck it. I'm on the record, guys. I'm on the record. You're going to hear it right now. I think this is one of those movies that actually does warrant a reboot.
Yeah. I think it's funny. It's one of those that I feel like somebody really ambitious has to come along to be like, I'm going to remake The Matrix, because everyone's going to be like, say what now?
The Wachowskis, but this time in 2019.
Okay, yeah, like, if the same people want to come back and redo it, that would be, I mean, I feel like that would be the best scenario in a way, but...
Yes, because it would be interesting only because, again, with all the updates in technology, it would be interesting to see people kind of take this, the conspiracy approach, but now with smartphones and with Twitter and shit like that. People trying to spread information like that even quicker and things like that, and letting people go through their phones. Their cell phones instead, which in some ways you would think, it makes it easier if you have a cell phone. It's like, yeah, but maybe you make it easier for the agents to come through as well, potentially.
Right, yeah.
So it would be very interesting, I think, to see what you could do in the future with another Matrix, which normally I'd say it would be so dumb to, talk about like, we have to reboot this and yada yada. But in a movie like this, when it relies on the quote-unquote current tech, it's been 19 years.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Well, not 19, rather. It's been, it's nearly been, it's been 19, nearly 20, dear God. No, because in my head I was like, no, it hasn't actually. Yes, it has, Matt, dear God. But it's been many years, I'll say that much, especially compared to when this was actually filmed. It was released in 99. Doesn't mean it was filmed in 99.
Right,
so, yeah. So, and, but maybe it was even written earlier than that and stuff like that. So it's crazy to think about when this was made versus the tech that we have available right now in 2018.
Right, because I could just only imagine, like, the crazy shit they would come up with everything that we have with the internet now. It's like, it's not dial-up anymore.
Yeah.
And phones, too, like you were saying, with cell phones. But, like, just the idea of putting the idea of the internet in there, that would be a whole nother challenge within itself.
But it'd be beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to wrap this thing up. We've talked about this for long enough. If any of you guys are listening in and you want to chime in, do you want to keep on talking about it, Tristan?
No, I think I pretty much hit everything.
All right, because it's funny. I don't think there's anything else we can say because it's one of those podcasts where like we don't have that many negative things to say. So after a while, I'm like, yeah, we really do have to end this because unless we're going to find things like I didn't like some of the chops. I think they were weak.
Right.
Like some of the chops that Trinity did before she got on the chopper and Neo got on the chopper. Some of those karate chops, they were a little weak. Same thing with Morpheus when he karate chopped Smith when they were fighting in the bathroom. They were kind of like weak. They were kind of like flaps. Like that's my big critique of the movie.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like, after a while, we have to just end it. So, I just want to say thank you all so much. Love that you guys listened in. If you're listening in through our Blog Talk Radio account right now, which is blogtalkradio.com/those-guys-on-the-radio, you're awesome. Maybe you're listening to us through our iTunes. You just search up Those Guys on iTunes and you find us there. If you're listening to us through our iTunes account, you're also awesome. Maybe, just maybe, you're listening to us through our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/those-guys-on-the-radio. And guess what? You're awesome too. If you're listening to us through all three at the same time, holy shit, you're dedicated, you're really awesome, but holy shit. Pick one platform. You don't have to click all three in unison. There's probably a little delay in all three. Don't do that. Maybe also you're checking out our Let's Plays over at Those Guys Play, which is our other YouTube channel. You can see our Let's Plays there and other general gaming content. We do a lot of different gaming content there. And you can be having a lot of fun watching us play a lot of different video games. I mean, you and I, Tristan, we're playing different Dragon Ball Z games right now. We recently played, on Those Guys Play Season 4, we played Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. So we're having a blast. And maybe in the future, we'll play a Matrix game.
Oh,
yes, there are Matrix games. No, they're good.
No.
You can go in slow motion in the game.
Oh, that does sound cool.
I love it. He's like, oh oh no, a game based on a property? Oh no, I've never played a good game based on a property. And I'm like, all right, Dragon Ball Z apparently doesn't count, but whatever.
It's funny. 3 different games came to me. I'm like, all right, you know what? He's right. I jumped the gun on that one. But at the same time, no, you know what? It's
Godzilla?
Well, no, I can't even say that. Yeah, Godzilla, Star Wars.
Dragon Ball Z.
Right, yeah, Dragon Ball.
I mean, fuck, Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You liked it, which we also played.
Yeah, no, I love that one. I was thinking more. It's like, well, that's a toy line, not a movie series.
Well, it's still a property, but you're right. Yes. No,
right.
For every Dragon Ball Z game, you get 10 Disney's dinosaurs.
Oh. Well, that's the thing. Right.
Which we also
what it
played.
Usually feels like.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But anyway, again, thank you all so much. Please check out our different channels. If you guys want to give any money to us, either as a tip or as a you should do this podcast or this Let's Play or something like that, or just general video idea, then you can go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/TeacherProductions, and depending on what tier you give to, either you can consider it a tip jar, which is just as fine, thank you all so much, regardless of any amount that you give, or depending on what tier you give to, you can say, hey, I want you guys to do a podcast on, like, your top 5 favorite anime, your top 5 favorite Dragon Ball Z fights, or something like that. Or it could be a specific Let's Play idea between, let's say, me and Tristan, or me and Anthony, or me and Anthony, or me and Anthony. We have 3 Anthonys, so we're gross. It could be any idea, any combination. You can even, make some very interesting new combos. So very interesting stuff.
I thought we had a glitch there for a second.
This is deja vu, right?
And Anthony.
Anthony. But anyway, so again, you go to our Patreon, a bunch of different tiers. You can even get a shout-out from us. So we actually give you guys a shout-out at the end of different podcasts or Let's Play episodes or different general episodes on either one of our channels. And if you want some of our cool merch, which you can't see me wearing right now because we're not on camera, you can actually get some of our cool T-shirts over at our main website, which is teacherproduction.net/merchandise, or over at our eBay, which is ebay.com/USR/ThoseGuysRadio. We got T-shirts, and on our eBay, I'm also selling some manga, anime, and other cool pro wrestling stuff from my personal collection. Also, if you want to follow all the different stuff that we do, of course, please like and subscribe to our different channels, stuff like that. But another way you can, kind of check out everything that we're doing, you can go to our main website, which is teacherproduction.net, or our Facebook, which is facebook.com/ThoseGuysOnTheRadio, or you can just tweet us over at @ThoseGuysRadio and tell us how much you hate us, or maybe like us, whichever one comes first. Whichever one is easier for you to express. So thank you all so much. Love you guys. Take care. Hope you had fun. We did. We're tired. We're going to bed. I don't know about you, Tristan. I'm going to bed. I'm waking up 2 days from now so I can go to work. All right. So thank you all. Love you all. Take care. And say goodnight, Tristan.
Good night, everyone. You have a choice, the podcast or the Let's Play.
Jesus.
Oh.
Choose wisely. And just see how far this rabbit hole goes.
See how far Those Guys rabbit hole goes.